Some conservative mayors in Ontario are going to be asking the province to force people into addictions treatment. And while Doug Ford hasn't necessarily endorsed it, he also hasn't said no. Essentially, though, what Patrick Brown and these other mayors are suggesting is to take away the freedoms of citizens and force them into rehabilitation, which might sound good, but there's no evidence to suggest that it actually works, especially when we underfund the mental health and healthcare systems to the point where we actually don't have enough treatment beds to deal with people who are suffering from addiction. They're already trying to rebrand it by calling it compassionate intervention. Here's something I do agree with Brown on, though. This is not police doing police work. This is police having to fill the void because government has not acted. The problem is that Patrick Brown's form of action isn't compassionate at all. Because while BC has also floated doing the same system, the Canadian Mental Health Association has said that there's a lack of evidence to support the effectiveness of involuntary treatment for people with substance use disorder, saying that it may instead pose an increased risk of death due to drug poisoning upon release. And while involuntary care may be needed as a last resort for people who have extreme risk of harm to themselves or to others, it should only be a last resort, not a sweeping solution. And compassionate intervention should focus on rehabilitation and reintegration rather than punishment or control. Because without proper funding, this compassionate intervention will just lead to people getting arrested by the police and not having anywhere to go. Because instead of having anywhere for these people to go, they're just going to end up rotting away in jail cells, which will lead to a forced detox, which can be extremely dangerous and kill people. Ford has also said that his Associate Minister of Mental Health is a big fan of compulsory treatment, which is awful considering Tobolo's previous work with Caritas, which is a men's mental health organization. Meanwhile, Tobolo refused to respond to a request for comment. This is a real problem. People need to be treated, but Doug Ford doesn't care about these people. I don't trust anything him or his government would do about this.